Heyo everybody, Haku here and welcome to the Haku Awards 2017. I don't know what to call this, but I wanted to do something special since I plan to do the top waifu video every single year in January, where I'll discuss my favorite anime waifus and see how the list changes from year to year as sort of a celebration for the channel. But there were so many great anime this year that I wanted to give a bit of a spotlight to, that I was like, I can do a little award show kind of video, and it'll start off super simple this year. I'm not going to put a bunch of editing or anything into this one. This is just going to be really bare bones, so warning you before you get into it. And depending on how it goes, this is sort of a first video to feel things out. Depending on how this goes, maybe next year I'll add more categories, I'll sort of throw in a bunch more editing, and we'll see how it goes from year to year. But at least for now, this is going to be super bare bones. But I have 7 awards that I want to give to certain anime or things within anime. And with those 7 awards, I've chosen 4, well, with the exception of Anime of the Year, I have chosen 8 nominees, but I've gotten 4 nominees looking through all things from this year that I saw in anime. And of course, if things are up here, it might be because I didn't watch the show if things aren't up here that you liked. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Stop getting distracted. The first award that I wanted to bring up is Comedy of the Year. And the way I'm judging this is what I thought was the funniest, and intentionally the funniest, because not the so bad it's good, laugh at it kind of funny, but something where you can just rewatch it multiple times and keep laughing at it. Something that's really charming, has maybe a decent story behind it too. But the four nominees I have for Comedy of the Year: Gabriel Dropout, Kobayashi-san Chi no Maid Dragon, Blendes, and Hinako Note. Gabriel Dropout was super funny, incredibly funny. And Kobayashi-san Chi no Maid Dragon was not only funny, but had an incredible story behind it. Blendes was super charming and had good characters. And Hinako Note was, Hinako Note had really an interesting production style, lovable characters, and worked out really well. And the winner between those 4, I'm giving it to Gabriel Dropout, because though you can argue Kobayashi-san Chi no Maid Dragon had a better story, when it comes to being able to watch it over and over again and laugh every single time, I've caught myself watching clips from Gabriel Dropout a bunch of times this year after watching the show. It makes me want to go back. I want to go back now, and I really want to rewatch it because it was that funny and there wasn't really a bad or slow part of it. So because it was constantly funny, my Comedy of the Year, giving it to Gabriel Dropout. Now, next category, Studio of the Year. I wanted to highlight an anime studio that had a really good year. So I did have 2 honorable mentions. I wanted to give KyoAni, or Kyoto Animation, sort of an honorable mention for Maid Dragon, because the production quality behind Maid Dragon was really good, and they took a pretty simple manga and turned it into a great anime. And the second honorable mention would be for Trigger. Trigger made Little Witch Academia this year, and Little Witch Academia was incredible. It looked amazing, it had great sound production and all that, and that was coming off of last year's anime from them, Kiznaiver, being not all that great. So they had a really great year. But not really enough to make it as one of the 4 nominees. The 4 nominees for Studio of the Year. First up, Yaoyorozu. Yaoyorozu had basically no budget, basically no people that they were allowed to have, and still made Kimono Friends, which was a massive hit internationally. So just for that one show, and it wasn't even the greatest show when it came to production quality, obviously, but they were able to take so little and make so much out of it. The second nominee, A1 Pictures. A1 Pictures made Demi-chan wa Kataritai, Blendes, and many others. Blendes had a nice style to it. Demi-chan wa Kataritai did as well. They both looked nice. And just the sheer number of anime that A1 Pictures had this year sort of earns their spot as a nominee. The next nominee is JC Staff, who made Kujira no Kora wa Sajo ni Utao, in my opinion, one of the best looking anime of the season. They made Urara Meirocho, winter of this year, was absolutely a really nice show as well. And they also made a bunch of other anime this year. Just like A1, they had a sheer number, and the number were high enough quality that they definitely earned their spot as a nominee here. And the fourth and final nominee is MAPPA. MAPPA had Shingeki no Bahamut, Virgin Soul, Kakegurui, Shikoku no Altair, Garo Vanishing Line, and Inuyashiki, which Virgin Soul, one of the absolute best looking and best anime of the year. Kakegurui looked great. It had a really, really nice art style. Also a really popular anime this year. Shikoku no Altair didn't get that popular, but I do like it myself, and I think it was nice. Garo Vanishing Line looks incredible. One of the better anime for this season. And Inuyashiki, again, is something that's gotten really popular, has a very unique style. And though I haven't kept up with Inuyashiki, I can say from the first few episodes that I myself watched, it was really nice. And so the winner, I tried not to make it too obvious, but the winner is MAPPA. MAPPA just, not only did they have a bunch of anime this year, but the anime that they made were all some of what I would consider the best of the year. So MAPPA, especially coming off of years previous, MAPPA had an incredible 2017, so Studio of the Year goes to MAPPA. Next up, I wanted to do a Relationship of the Year. This doesn't necessarily mean that it's romantic, but just a relationship between two characters, because I think that's what drives a show a lot of the time. So one honorable mention I had, Chito and Yuri from Shoujo Shumatsu Ryoko. Didn't quite make it, but the two of them and their interactions with each other drove the entire show and the journey of Shoujo Shumatsu Ryoko. And my four nominees for this, Kaguri Yatsuko and Ursula Callistus. The way that their relationship was presented, it was a great student-teacher relationship, one of, I would say, the best in anime ever. The second nominee, Jeanne d'Arc and Elle from Shingeki no Bahamut, Virgin Soul. Just an incredibly sacrificial mother and son tale that ended in tragedy and then hope and then triumph and tragedy again. It was a really incredible relationship between the two of them. The third nominee, Nanachi and Midi from Made in Abyss. Nanachi and Midi had an incredible relationship before tragedy sort of struck them, and then through that tragedy, the caretaker role that Nanachi played over Midi, and Midi being Nanachi's treasure, it was one of the most emotionally charged and great relationships of the year. And then the last nominee is Kobayashi and Toru from Miss Kobayashi's Maid Dragon. It started out as sort of this weird, quirky relationship, and it kept going on that way, but over the course of the season, not only did it drive the show, but the characters had such... it built so much. The characters had such a great development because of the relationship between the two of them, and it was incredible. And I'm going to give my winner to the one I talked least about because I didn't want to ruin it. Akko and Ursula from Little Witch Academia. I've got to give it to them because, like I said, we've seen a lot of student-teacher relationships, but this is my favorite student-teacher relationship from any show ever. And just knowing the backstory behind it, how everything in the show was connected and how it played into their relationship, and especially toward the end of the series, so many heartbreaking and heartwarming scenes. I think that the dynamics of it, the relationship of the year, has to go to Little Witch Academia for Akko and Ursula. Next up, this category, I didn't know if I should call it Episode of the Year or Emotional Episode of the Year, but I'm going for Emotional Episode of the Year. Because though the winner or the nominees might not be the best if you look at it from a filmmaking stance, they're the episode that I think made me feel the most throughout the season. And one honorable mention I will give is to Mahotsuka Niome for The Balance Distinguishes Not Between Gold and Lead. just within 20 some minutes, it introduced a character I knew nothing about and had me weep for the life and death of that character. So I think that just because of how encapsulated it was, and it still made me that way, I wanted to give it an honorable mention, even though so many other shows deserve honorable mentions for certain episodes too. But the 4 nominees for Emotional Episode of the Year, the first nominee is Tree of Leaves from Little Witch Academia. It's the finale. It's incredibly beautiful and heartfelt, and I can't watch a single scene from it anymore without tearing up. It's so beautiful, so well made, and it brings an incredible series together to become something even greater. It is the greatest score I've ever given a single episode in review. The second nominee is The Way She Was from Shingeki no Bahamut Virgin Soul. The Way She Was tells the backstory of Jeanne d'Arc and Elle, and how this mother and son that we've seen previously in the show, we've seen how they got separated and what are the circumstances behind their lives and what it's done to Jeanne as a character, as a mother. And it's such a beautiful episode, and it really hit me very hard. So also from Virgin Soul, I would say that Homecoming and Vengeance are both other episodes that really hit me hard, made me tear up. But The Way She Was, out of the 3 of them to choose from, I chose that one to be the nominee. I also stuck to 1 episode per show, because if not, I felt like it was going to be a bunch of Virgin Soul and Little Witch Academia episodes. The third nominee, The Challengers from Made in Abyss. That was the Made in Abyss finale, possibly the best finale I've seen for a season, where I feel like there will be another season in the future for sure. The rest of the show, I wasn't even super into Made in Abyss in a lot of ways, in a lot of episodes, but the finale was incredible. The finale had me... if I was an anime reaction channel, if I was watching it on camera, you people would have seen a mess, because I was bawling throughout the episode, especially towards the climax of it. I had tears streaming down my face, full on bawling, crying aloud, not even just tearing up. The Challengers broke me as a person. And finally, the 4th nominee here, and I would say all of you, even if you don't watch, I mean, you should watch the series to get context for these episodes so that they mean more, but I would say these are 4 must-watch episodes this year. And the 4th one I'm going to give The Transient Guest from Konohana Kitan. I wasn't expecting Konohana Kitan to be up here like this, but The Transient Guest is one of the best episodes of anime this entire season. It starts out, you think it's like a normal episode of the show. It's heartfelt, it's feelsy. They bring in all these characters and they have heartfelt and feelsy stories from them. And then the end, the last few minutes, connects everything in a way that's so unexpected and took me by surprise. I was tearing up. I don't even know if I fully cried, but I was definitely tearing up. It was so heartfelt, so well thought out, so just interconnected that everything came together in one encapsulated episode that I think even if you watched this one episode without watching the rest of the show, you would be able to take something away from it. It was so incredible. One of the best episodes of the year for sure. And so the winner for Emotional Episode of the Year, or just Episode of the Year, either way. Though I said this list would have been covered with most Little Witch Academia and Shingeki no Bahamut, I'm going to give the award to The Challengers from Made in Abyss, because out of everything, that episode had the greatest impact on me, and like I said, left me weeping aloud. So, yeah, that is the biggest and best episode of the year, the Made in Abyss finale, The Challengers. Next up is something some of you shonen fans may be more into. I'm giving a category, an award for Fight of the Year. So some honorable mentions for this, just real quick. I would say Diamond vs. Shiro from Hoseki no Kuni. I love the way it was animated, the way it ended, with Diamond's last-ditch effort kind of attacking. And some of the best shots of the season were the stealth sequences with Diamond trying to sneak around while Shiro is chasing her. So I'll give it that. Another honorable mention, I'm giving it to Leon versus Nina from Hina Lojai, because it brought the series to a climax in a really awesome way and had two characters that were friends fighting each other when Leon goes on a rampage in a really, really cool way. And because of the importance to the show and the importance of the relationship, it really meant a lot as a fight. Now, for the 4 nominees, the first nominee, Izuku versus Todoroki from Boku no Hero Academia. It was incredible. There was such a great build-up to it. The entire first half of the season was really built around this fight and the story it told, because this fight told a great story without having to go into too much storytelling, too many flashbacks. It told it through the combat. The second nominee, Izuku, Todoroki, and Ida versus Stain. Again, Boku no Hero Academia Season 2. Again, it told a great story with the 3 characters and the changes that they had gone through and were going through in their fight versus a villain with a cause, a villain with just this great charisma. So, Izuku, Todoroki, and Ida versus Stain, second nominee. Third nominee, Akko and Diana versus the Noir Rod. I already said that Little Witch Academia, the finale, was the best episode I've ever given a review to. This fight was part of that. This fight told a great story, was so heartfelt, really brought the series together, and to see Akko and Diana standing together was really, really impactful. So that would be the third nominee. And the final nominee, the Friends versus the Black Cerulean from Kimono Friends. I'm giving a fight from Kimono Friends this nomination because it wasn't the best looking fight, but it had so much emotion and story weight behind it, and it meant so much if you had been watching the journey of that series and what it had been through and all of what had happened, how it came from being made by a studio that had nothing, and they sort of put their heart into it and made something great out of that. To see it all come together into that final fight and what it meant, it was really good. I watched so many reactions to it where people were tearing up watching it, and I myself did as well. So yeah, the Friends vs. the Black Ceruleans, the final nominee. And as for the winner, though I said some had more emotional weight, I think the winner has to be Izuku versus Todoroki from Boku no Hero Academia, the second season. Just because the entire first part of the series was framed and developed so much around that story and so much around the fight, or the story that the fight told, and the fight told that story so well, in addition to being possibly the most beautifully animated, at least up there with Akko and Diana versus Noir Rod. So because of the story it told and the importance to the show, I'm giving it to Izuku vs. Todoroki. Next up, one that I'm not actually having nominees for, but it's something special I wanted to give out because I felt like it was something that deserved recognition. I'm going to call it a Spirit Award, I guess. And that was for a show that a lot of heart and spirit was put into, and of course the winner's got to be Kimono Friends. Kimono Friends took something that was nothing, something that the producers didn't really seem to care about that much, from a game that had gotten shut down by the time the anime was coming out, where there weren't, I guess, enough players. And it took a studio with nothing given to them, no money or time, and they made something that had such a good story and was so heartfelt that tons of people watched it. It became an international hit. It spawned the whole Grape Coon story. It spawned all of the deals with all these zoos and the Japanese Horse Racing Commission and all of that. So Spirit Award goes to Kimono Friends. And then my final award for Anime of the Year, where instead of 4, to give them more of a highlight, I'm going to give 8 nominations. So the 8 nominees for, and I'm not going to describe each one or why they're here, but the 8 nominees for Anime of the Year that I think you should definitely go watch if you were watching any shows from this season. The 8 best, in no particular order. The nominees are Princess Principal, Kimono Friends, Kobayashi-san Chino Maid Dragon, Little Witch Academia, Hoseki no Kuni, Boku no Hero Academia 2nd Season, Shingeki no Bahamut Virgin Soul, and Shoujo Shumatsu Ryoko. So the winner for Anime of the Year from all of those, 2017, Little Witch Academia. Little Witch Academia is my favorite anime that I've ever watched or seen. It is the anime I've given the best review scores to ever, and though some parts towards the middle and beginning seemed like they didn't mean that much, in the end, everything in the show was super interconnected. Everything truly meant something. And going back and watching stuff, everything in this show was connected. Everything meant something. Whether it was funny, whether it was heartfelt and feelsy, it all had meaning. It all had depth. And because of that, it's my favorite anime ever that I've ever watched at this point. And I'm giving it Anime of the Year 2017, Little Witch Academia. So real quick, I hope you enjoyed this, but real quick before I end the video, I will go back through and say the 7 winners. Comedy of the Year, Gabriel Dropout. Studio of the Year, Mappa. Relationship of the Year, Akko and Ursula from Little Witch Academia. The Emotional Episode of the Year, or just Episode of the Year, The Challengers from Made in Abyss. The Fight of the Year, Izuku vs. Todoroki from Boku no Hero Academia 2nd Season. Spirit Award goes to Kimono Friends, and Anime of the Year 2017 is Little Witch Academia. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like if you did like it, comment down there. Tell me what you thought of any of this. What were some of your favorite shows? Who do you think should have won certain things? Anything like that. Any ways you think I can improve it for next year or anything? Other than just adding more editing and pictures and stuff, because I plan to do that, of course, for next year. But this year it's kind of a last-minute decision I made, and I just wanted to make this. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe for more anime, manga, comics, TV shows, light novels, tons more on the channel. And this was just anime stuff. Maybe I could branch out and do stuff for light novels and manga too, but I don't really consume as much manga and light novels, you know, so I don't think I'd have an educated enough voice on it, even though this is just opinion from me. Follow on Twitter if you want. I think I already said, and I'll keep you updated there and stuff for the channel, or can talk to you there. And if you want a link to our Discord server to talk to me and more of us there, just ask and I'll give you a link. That's it. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.